Oh, let's go. Let us go. Just need a moment to set things up. And we are in this. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the Finnish Zerg player representing Berserker Esports. It is Mixu. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran. South Korean Terran player, currently teamless, but one of the best Terrans in the world. It is Cure. Here we go. Again, this time a fresh series. We're not jumping in mid-series or anything like that. Game one between these two. And yeah, I mean, again, Cure has been looking so good in recent months. He's been looking damn good in Gamers 8, in Masters Coliseum, and GSL is on the horizon. Fun fact, a little bit of an announcement. I did mention this over the weekend, but we did get access to the GSL Code A replays, the qualifiers for Code S, and we will be casting those replays this week over the next couple of days. So we do have a lot lined up. We do have a lot lined up over the next week of StarCraft, or a next week period full of StarCraft. We have the KSL replays, because we did miss KSL live on Saturday. And then, of course, we do have the GSL Code A replays that, and there are a lot of them. There are a lot of replays to go over, so we're going to be casting them over the course of 2 days. 2 days. Just so we can cover everything. There is a lot to go over. So yeah, look forward to it, Papi. Look forward to it. For today, though, I'm going to be taking it easy. I'm still not fully recovered. I think I actually got worse yesterday, which is not a good thing. But I did think I got a little bit worse yesterday. So it's because I couldn't cast, Papi. I couldn't cast. I was so down, smooch. But after ESL Americas today, I think I'm just gonna rest up as the best I can. I might stream, maybe. I don't know. I'm not feeling amazing when it comes to streaming at the moment. We'll see. We'll see how we feel after the cast. As of now, pretty standard openers. So you see Cure going for a fast third CC. Very standard, very economic from our Terran player. Likewise, I know that I've been praising Cure a lot, and to be fair, he is one of the best Terrans in the world, and again, he is someone to look forward to when it comes to GSL, as well as ESL Masters Winter, which was recently announced as well. Do keep your eye out for Cure. Likewise, Mixu has also been looking good as well. When it comes to competing for Berserker Esports and these online tournaments, I think for a while I thought that Mixu had plateaued. I thought that he had kind of like gotten to a certain level and he was having a hard time breaking through, but Mixu, he has been improving. It's been really cool to see that he has been improving over the past couple of months as well. You know, maybe also kind of reinvigorated by the fact that the ESL Masters Winter Qualifiers, they were just announced. You know, it's all on the horizon. The next big event for StarCraft on the way. DreamHack Atlanta. Definitely looking forward to it. Until then, it's going to be a 3cc Banshee, so like, as standard can be here for Cure. It's one of those things where the 2-Rax openers have fallen off a little bit just because they have been played out. They have been figured out a lot more recently. So we can see Cure spreading his wings. Going for other openers instead. He's poking and prodding with his Hellions, with his Reapers. Mixu back at home is just droning. Talk about this a lot, but Mixu as a player, he is also like very standard, very macro oriented. He's not really one to go for these big all-ins or go for these quirky plays. I expect Lingbane into Hydra from Mixu, but we'll see. He does diverge his plans. Third base is being taken, orbital being floated over. Likewise, we have Hellions just going to be dipping in between the bases as well, threatening those tumors. And at least Mixu is able to confirm additional Hellions, so he's aware of the 1-1-1 variation. He's where he can be safe enough to just drone up as well. Mixu is going to be delaying his upgrades. He goes for a faster Bailey Nest here instead. So very safe play out of Mixu. And this is kind of what we were talking about before, about how he approaches this matchup in general. So typically when you see a greedy opener from the Terran like this, when you see a faster 3CC, you delay your lair, you delay your Bailey Nest in favor of double Evo Chamber. But Mixu is not taking that risk. He's not taking that chance by delaying his safety bailings and going for faster upgrades. Just wants to make sure he can survive. And don't blame him. As the Banshees are getting quite a lot done, actually. 2 more drones go down, a couple of Lings as well. Not the biggest losses for Mixu, but Cure, he's gaining value. On the 4th base, Queens are rotating over. And yo, can we get a Queen? Looks like we can. Not enough energy for transfuse. A Queen goes down. Of course, these Banshees are battered and bruised, and they should be heading back home soon. But a good amount of damage was dealt, and amidst all of this, Cure has been able to get his 3rd base saturated. He's got his own 1-1 upgrades on the way, and he's building up a pretty large force. He should be moving out momentarily as well. He does have an armory on the way. Obviously, this is for 2-2, but by the time the push happens, these Hellions have been kept alive. This is what I love from Cure. More often than not, he doesn't throw away his early game Hellions. He keeps them alive so that when he does go for his 7-minute tank push, he has Hellbats to support his tanks. We'll have them available. Here we go. The move out is coming. Yeah, there are only 2 tanks with this push, but they are wedging themselves behind these rocks. At the same time, we do have a big Ling Bang counterattack, and oh my god! The entire mineral line is going to be going down. At the same time, Lings make their way in towards that natural base as well. Mixu getting so much damage done. Cure getting caught with his pants down. They were down, Poppy. They were down. And even though this push is looking terrifying, Mixu, he can afford to give up this base. He's coming back home here with the rest of his things. He's setting up a force around. Cure just was not paying attention. Not at the time. The hatchery will fall. So again, Mixu, he's going to back off. He's expanding over towards the right-hand side. He already has another hatchery that he can just transfer his workers over to. And the pressure is on Cure to do more. But as he unsieges, no, the Marines! The Marines, they get left unattended, and Cure is going to lose everything. Oh my god, Mixu! The perfect time to collapse on the army. The moments when the Medevacs were not there to save any of the Marines. At the same time, though, we have Banshees on the right-hand side, and there is no detection. The Spore was not thrown down. And workers are falling. 9, 10 drones. Ay, ay, ay. So Mixu, he's hurting as well. The economies are looking pretty similar. The economies are pretty comparable with each other. I would say Cure is maybe even slightly ahead when it comes to that economy. He's got his 4th base on the way. Mixu trying to set up another Ling Bang counterattack. He's going straight for the straight for the CC. He gets it. That's 400 minerals down the drain. Supply blocking Cure as well. Mixu is fighting back, but likewise, Cure is not going down without a fight. He's got a double drop in the main base. He's got his double drop here on the right-hand side as well. Mixu trying to keep up. Up. Good target firing out of Cure. Oh, but this space is looking very exposed. Mixu doesn't have any vision. He doesn't see, he doesn't know, and a lot of workers are going down. Oof. Oh, god. 13 drones. The advantage that Mixu once had is no longer there. Cure is pulling Mixu apart. And you can see Cure snowballing out of control. He's dwarfing Mixu in supply. Fully saturated on 3 bases. The hatchery itself went down as well. Mixu is knocked down to only 3 bases. Doesn't have a lot of lava, doesn't have a lot of mining. Things were looking good. And, you know, that's why we were praising Mixu earlier. Like, he's been looking really impressive recently, and he was even looking very impressive in this game. Bailing's able in. It will collapse. It will take down the mineral line. But at this point, it may just be too little too late. I'm concerned that the size of army for Cure is just too large at this point. It's just... there's just too many Marines, too many tanks. Cure has almost double the army supply of Mixu. It doesn't matter how many workers Mixu kills. The army of Cure can just roll him over. And here we go, Cure. He is moving out towards those fresh mining bases. We're going to try to engage. There is a window where there's not really much room to hide back, but nah, there's plenty of room. Plenty of room for Cure. Does force a cancel on the hatchery. He's going to be pushing on forward. And Mixu is struggling to keep up. He needs time right now. And the problem is that Cure's being very active. He's not giving him too much time. He's getting a 4th base. He's amassing a larger army. Cure, he's got 3-3 on the horizon. Mixu, still no hive. Wait, do we have a hive? No, we do have a hive, sorry. Just no 3-3, no adrenal. Ling Rambai got some tanks, at least. But here comes the main push from Cure. That's the danger of this center base, is that from Cure's half of the map, he can siege up some tanks and he can take control of this position. And Mixu is going to try to come in from behind. Big mine shots. Lings are going to go down. And at this point, Cure has maxed out. We have a couple of infestors banking up energy, but they do not have enough for fungals, not yet. The Vipers as well, not quite ready for this. As once again, Mixu is contained to 3 bases, and that's all that Cure has to do. These Banshees are still alive, but like all he has to do is just contain his opponents over and over again. And Mixu, he sees the main army. It looks like he can either engage or just go for a base trade. I don't know if he can deal with this. He gets the tank. Yo, the fungals! Really good fungals. The first one does connect the second one as well, but we are running out of Bailings. Good parasitic bomb combo as well. Mixu doing the best with what he has, trading as efficiently as possible. That was a very impressive fight, but you can see that Cure, he has not moved when it comes to his supply. He's still maxed out, 200 supply. Denies the base. You got Liberators in the main, in the natural. Mixu already barely has an economy, and the economy is being stifled even more. As Cure's pushing through, and yeah, GG finally does get called as Mixu just has run out of steam, and even then some. And Cure takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. But what I will say is that despite Cure taking that game, shout out to Mixu, because he made it damn close, at least initially. If you remember, Mixu, he had crippled the economy of Cure, and he had not just done that, but also had an amazing fight and crippled the army of Cure as well. There was a really strong moment there at around that, 8-minute mark for Mixu. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to maintain his lead. He wasn't able to get his 4th base up and running in mining. Cure was just so tenacious, despite being dealt a really rough hand, despite Cure being in a really rough position, he just fought back so hard and quickly came back in that game. Oh, GG. GG, well played. With that, Cure will take game number 1. But that was exciting. That was exciting, and again, really proud of Mixu for how he was able to perform. At least initially. Now we're getting ready for our next game. We're getting ready for game number 2. Also, hold on, I need to get some meds. Un momento, papi, un momento. Wait, I'll be back soon. Alright, we are back, and we are spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern. We have the Finnish Zerg player representing Berserker Esports down in the series, but not out. It is Mixu. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing himself up in the series. It is Cure. Alright. We are good to go. But yeah, honestly, again, really impressed by Mixu in that last game. He had a moment, papi. I see Miguelito beneath in the chat. Mixu, he's so good, right? It's like, he had his moment. It wasn't enough to take down Cure, but I want to believe that he can replicate that. Just expound on that as well. I want to believe. As, oh, we do see Cure doing something very different here. So he's going to be going for a 2-Rax opener, but it's not on the low ground, it's on the high ground instead. Interesting choice by Cure. Essentially, because of the positioning here, he's going to be hiding it a little bit more as well. Maybe more of a surprise factor to Mixu. As, oh, my mistake. Okay, so it's going to be a 2-Rax opener here. Marines, though. We're skipping Reapers. Okay. So this reminds me a little bit of Future. Future has a very similar build where he goes for a 2-Rax on the low ground into Marines. He does it on maps like Greswan. Goes Marines instead of Reapers. And it's just like a really nice way to get into an eventual 4-Rax. That's at least how Future does it, where he goes into a 3rd and 4th Rax. And because he starts Marine production, because he skips Reapers, he has so many more Marines. Like, it hits so much harder. Now, there's obviously pros and cons to it, as we do see Mixu scouting everywhere. Oh my god, he is a little bit paranoid. He's making sure everything is on the up and up, and he's scouting every corner of the map. I don't blame him. Lings are going to dip into the main base, and they do get eyes on the 2 Raxes here on the ramp. Mixu has a piece of the puzzle. He's also aware of the lack of Reaper. Now, again, because we skipped on the Reapers and because, you know, we've been cutting corners, Cure, he's gonna have so many more Marines to work with. Again, if he was up against like a Roach Rush, he would be woefully underprepared. There's no bunkers, like he would have no idea. And he would have no way of scouting either, because he has no way to scout other than to scan, of course. So again, it is a risky thing to do as a Terran player, but we're on Ancient Cistern, a bit of a larger map. The likelihood of a rush happening is a little bit lower, and thankfully for Cure, Mixu isn't going for any kind of early game aggression. So Cure is getting away with this. He's amassing Marines. We have Stim, combat shields on the way. And the way this works is by the time it moves out, Cure, he's going to have 1, maybe 2 stims in the chamber. He's going to be moving out, obviously with these upgrades, he's not going to be moving out with any medevacs. So because of that, every stim counts. Because of that, his army won't really have too much longevity with it. He has a little bit less maneuverability as well, but a lot of firepower. And we'll see if Mixu can prepare for this. He may misread this as a 2-on-1. And I'm concerned that that's going to be the case. At the moment, he's just droning quite consently. He should be starting Ling production soon, and there we go. We have 12 Lings on the way. How many queens do we have? We have 7, soon to be 8 queens. 20 more Lings in production. And here we go. Cure is moving out. What's it going to be? It's going to be 28 Marines against soon to be 28 Lings. Marines have revealed themselves. We do scan ahead of time. Mixu's got to take this slow and steady. And there we go. He stims. Cure, he goes straight for the mineral line. He gets 1, 2 overlords. No, sorry. Yeah, 2 overlords. They will go down. The positioning here is actually disgusting. I don't know how Mixu can engage here, as every single Ling is going to go down. Oh, good focus firing on some of those drones. And it looks like Cure will get cleaned up, but that was a pretty good trade for Cure. Look at the units lost tab. He got 45 Lings. That was disgusting. Just the efficiency, it was a meat grinder just because he was able to wedge himself in the mineral line in between all these mineral patches as well. It was a beautiful position for Cure. He gets 5 more workers and 2 overlords as well. And that was worth it. That was an efficient trade for Cure. From here, he can build up a second wave, another force, this time with medevacs, this time with tanks. And Cure is working on his 3rd CC. And here comes that next push. It's moving out across the map. Medevacs are boosting on over to meet up with it. Very Bjorn-esque. Love to see it. And Mixu, he did scout the push ahead of time, so he's amassing an army. He's getting ready for it. Consulting his queens. Bringing his Lings over. Tank is in position. Yeah, but there's just not enough creep here. There's just not enough to stop these Marines. We do force a cancel on the 4th base. At the same time, Mixu trying to set up a surround. He is coming in from behind. Good target firing from Cure on those Bailings, but it looks like the tank survives. Ay, ay, ay. The tank getting some extra shots in. And Cure able to trade that much more efficiently, but finally he does get forced back. Mixu does hold on. He's got his own 1-1 on the way. Meanwhile, Cure, he's taking his 3rd and he's sending a 2nd army across the map. And this may just start snowballing out of control. I appreciate that Mixu is getting a run by ready as the army moves out, and now is when Cure is a little bit exposed. But it's only a handful of Lings, and at least this will slow Cure down. Like, Mixu, he just doesn't have a lot to spare. Just because of how rough the early game was for him, or how much lava was wasted with those 45 Lings. You see Cure moving in from the right, catching some Bailings. And the goal here from Cure is to deny the fourth base over and over again. He denied it once already. He's going to try to deny it again here over towards the right. He cleaned up a lot of creep, just cutting Mixu off from this base. And this hatchery should go down. Mixu doesn't want to give it up, though. He's coming in from behind once again. This is not going to work out, though. Good target firing on the Banelings. Every single Baneling goes down. Mixu does force this back, but I mean, what was he fighting for? He did lose the base anyway. Gets 8 SCVs across the map, which is nice. But again, Mixu, he bled out a lot of Banelings, a lot of Lings. And Cure is still ahead in army supply. He's still keeping the pressure on. And at least the mines get out, but we do see Cure just setting up some multi-prong harassment now. We do have actually a mine drop headed towards the main. We've got double drop here on the left. Another drop here on the right as well. Mixu is keeping up it up. He's not looking. Cure is not looking. He loses all of his Marines. A good trade for Mixu. He needed that. Mixu has been needing something like that to go his way for quite some time. Cure a little bit distracted, preoccupied by something else. At the same time, do have a mine drop heading towards this fourth base. But Mixu's in position. And these mines shouldn't get much done, but they are distracting Mixu, which is what matters. As I say that, laying round by, cleans up some Marines, gets a couple of SCVs. Oh, the burrow. This is something that we've been seeing a lot of in the last couple of weeks, or a couple of months even. Oh my god, there are burrow Banelings as well. I think that was the moment. I'm scared that was the moment, Papi. Well, I mean, a couple of things can happen here. If we unburrow these Lings, it is going to force this army to go over the Banelings, right? When it comes back home. Oof. Meanwhile, mine shots are going to be going off. This space is going to be going down. There is that unburrow on those Lings. The winter mines. Big mine shots are going to be going off. And Cure is pushing his way through. We may not see those barred Banelings come into play at all. There's just too much. Yeah, as Cure is breaking on through. Good connections with the barred Banes. Mixu fighting back as best he can. But the wave of Terran is too much. It's too strong. And Cure will break this base before the game ends. As Cure, he's broken the fifth. He's getting on top of the fourth. And there's no way for Cure to be stopped at this point. There's just not enough on the ground. Not enough Lings, not enough Banelings, not enough Queens. Mixu is trying to catch some reinforcements. He's trying to force Cure to turn back around. Really? Mixu just wants Cure to walk through here. Oh! No. Never mind. Cure doesn't turn around. It would be nice if he did. It would be nice. As this is going to be the last hurrah here from Mixu. He does take down the mineral line across the map. 20 SCVs go down, but GG gets called, and Cure will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Oh, one moment. Bam. Congratulations to Cure for advancing on. Shout out to Mixu though, because again, he had moments in this game. He did have moments in this series, I should say. Moments of brilliance. So, unfortunately, wasn't able to keep up with Cure, but yeah, GG, well played nonetheless. Mixu is definitely a player to keep your eye on, and I'm definitely going to be cheering for him when it comes to the regionals, the European regionals for ESL Masters Winter. GG, well played. Kira advances on in the tournament. Mixu will be bowing out here in the round of 16.